Black Bipolar Female, Episode 20, Dad's Visit. Niece, while Steph wanted to get to the root cause of everything, and Mom felt like I just needed a bit of help to work through something we all have to deal with, Dad, better known as Pop to you, processed my diagnosis in a very different way. Always the first to be ready for church on Sunday, Dad felt there was nothing God couldn't fix. To him, prayer was better than any form of medicine. The doctors had their own idea of what was wrong with me and how to fix it, but in his mind, only God knew the real problem, and only God could fix it. One day, while I was in the girl-interrupted hospital, my dad came by without telling me that he intended to visit. He came with a woman I'd never seen before. She was dressed very nicely, with perfectly pressed navy blue pants and a flowy white top, with a wool jacket that looked like it could get her through some pretty cold days. Dad introduced her as a minister, and I briefly thought of how few female ministers I'd come across, but dismissed the thought as I wondered why Dad would bring her to the hospital to visit me all the way from New York to Boston. We went into the room reserved for visitation, and she sat directly facing me, and Dad sat beside her. Even though there was a small table separating us, she felt very close to me. Dad must have sensed that I was a bit confused about why he made the trip, and then he said, "I brought her here to pray over you." I'd never been prayed over before, so I wasn't quite sure what it entailed. I had thoughts of The Exorcist with a priest standing over the little girl's body. Did he expect the illness to come out of me like a demon? Did he think having bipolar disorder was like being possessed by the devil? I had flashbacks to Lisa's email about people with bipolar disorder being evil. The illness manifesting itself in a person was God's way of telling everyone that that person was dangerous. I thought for a moment, how could my own father think that way of me? Didn't he know me? But I couldn't ask him any of those questions because I had to be prayed over. I sat still and waited for whatever was going to happen to get started. She told me to bow my head. At that point, I wondered if any of the nurses were watching us and if they would think what they saw was strange. But I bowed my head. She told me to close my eyes, and I did because I didn't want to put up any type of fight in front of my dad. She told me to put my hands on the table, and she cupped both of my hands in her hands and bowed her head over mine, and she began to pray. I couldn't really follow anything she said because she spoke so quickly it was almost like she was casting a spell. Her breath flowed over my head and filled my nostrils. As she exhaled, I inhaled, and our bodies seemed to sync up for a bit. When she let go of my hands, I was relieved that it was over and happy that Dad was pleased with my acceptance of his attempt to cure me through prayer. Part of me felt like I could use all the help I could get, but most of me was skeptical of the entire process. I was very angry with God. How could he take away my life, reduce my dreams to ash and my mind to mush? I thought nothing of the prayers of a stranger, minister or not. I just didn't want to disappoint my dad. In that moment, his faith would have to be enough for the both of us, and I pushed the entire experience out of my mind and acted like it never happened. But now my dad and I are both a bit older, and I'm in this new state of remission. I think back to that moment. I wish I'd paid attention and caught the words she said. I feel now that they were important. I feel now that it may have made a difference. Her prayers over me combined with my baptism may have been the turning points in my recovery. There's no way I will ever know how much of my health to attribute to my faith and the faith of others, and how much to attribute to medicine and my doctor's expertise, but I know that I cannot rely on just one alone. It doesn't have to be one thing all the way. Many things working in conjunction is often what it takes to be successful, and it's certainly what it takes to maintain my health. What I've learned from managing my health is that I must be willing to try mostly anything to maintain it. I never know just which thing makes the biggest difference. So don't be quick to back out of things you feel you won't actually help with what you're going through. You may never know the actual impact of certain actions you take, but all actions and inaction make a difference in the long run. Until next time, this is your Aunt Sia saying, stay strong, stay healthy, and know that you are loved.
We can learn together, we can grow forever.
Hey, it's the best kept secret.
We can learn together, we can grow forever. I am not my hair, I am not my skin. I am a vessel of love and soul within. I am black bipolar female. I am black bipolar female. I am not my hair, I am not my skin. I am a vessel of love and soul within. I am black bipolar female. I am black bipolar female. Let me tell you where I've been, who I am, what I do, where I stand, how I live, what I think, what I love, what I am. Black bipolar female. Yes, man, many questions you could ask. What I don't know I will pass. I will help you understand all the ups, all the downs, all the smiles, all the frowns, all the whys, all the hows. Walk the journey with me, the road is full of wows. We can learn together, we can grow forever. We can learn together, we can grow forever.